Dylan Belcher asks a question about research, which I like. He says, she says, they say, when building something totally new to you, you have said that you search for other builds and or the originals. Do you also look for the techniques that have been used as well, or rely on your own knowledge to achieve the result? Oh, no. I definitely go looking at techniques. I usually look at techniques late in the process. And that's because in order to assess whether or not I want to use a technique, I need to know what my first thought is. Like I need to sort of think through, okay, how do I want to do this? I could do this with this kind of hole saw or that kind of hole saw, but I'd really like to know what kind of hole saw they used. But once I've thought through how I would do it, that prepares my mind much better to understand how someone else achieved it. Yeah. So I don't go looking into techniques until I've already thought up a couple of versions of my own. Sometimes it's after I've screwed up my own technique. I will say for the record that almost every single time I go looking for a technique, I find it on Bill Duran's YouTube channel. It is like every single time. And frequently, it's like I'm getting rickrolled by Bill because I'm just like, okay, how did someone do this? Here's a video, click, it's Bill. I'm not even looking at the title. I'm just looking at here's someone that did it. It looks kind of like the thing that I'm doing. Oh, it's Bill. Every single time. Bill is never going to give me up. He's never going to let me down. He's always got the technique that I need for the project that I'm doing. And frankly, his output, his finished products of those technique videos are always aspirational. That is the nicest way I can put it. They're aspirational. They're annoyingly good. So yeah, for me, in order to assess a technique, I have to have already thought how I would do it. And then I figure it out by looking at somebody else's. That's also one of those super powerful things that existed between Heinemann, Jamie, and I on the show. And when you're collaborating with someone else, you don't have the luxury of just jumping into the first thing you want to try. You got to justify it. You got to talk about it. You got to discuss it, which sometimes is annoying as hell. And there were a lot of times on Mythbusters where Jamie or I would be excited enough about a build that we would be like, listen, I'm so excited about this. I really don't want to hear what you think about it. Could you just let me have this one? And we'd be like, by all means, go with God. At the same time, having to justify how you want to do something can frequently reveal just how stupid your idea is, just how useless it will be. And the problem you're good because having someone go, wait a minute, if you do it that way, then this thing is going to happen. Yeah. That's a good one. Look, it's never going to be unproductive to talk through how you're going to do something. It can be annoying, without a doubt, but you have to remind yourself that someone's asking you for the information about how you plan to tackle it, and you owe them an answer. And when you give them the answer, you got to be ready for when you say the thing out loud, you may realize it's a much worse idea than you think it's going to be. And that can be annoying and that can be an ego hit, but man, it happens to us all the time. The Prop Master with Robert Walker asks a practical question. I know you don't like to rely on glue, but in your opinion, what is the best glue for Sentra or other PVC foam boards? Foam PVC is, in other countries, it's often called Sinex. It comes under a bunch of different names. Sentra is its brand name here in the United States when it's made by one of the manufacturers. It's a lightweight board that is easy to cut for almost any tool, including a hand knife. It is easy to sand. Weta Workshop uses them for weapons and stuff that go on walls when you don't have to get too close to them. And because it's a foam PVC, it can glue very well with PVC glue unless it's been coated. And I have gotten screwed by that by using a PVC glue is one of my favorite glues. And to be fair, the Prop Master Robert Walker is right. I don't like to rely on glues, but I love my weld bonds. I love styrene and acrylic using weld bonds, because a weld bond literally melts both sides of a joint and makes them monolithic. And PVC glue for gluing PVC pipe together, oh, it is so lovely. And the first time I got some Sentra here into the shop, I used PVC glue on it thinking, because PVC glue sets, like you put two parts together and they are like, it is instant, it feels like. It's like science fiction. So I thought I was getting that, except that the face of the Sentra that I was using had been faced in something that wasn't PVC, and so it wasn't melting. And the whole thing fell apart after I thought I was building something useful. But yeah, so my favorite glue for Sentra, if it's not coated, is PVC glue. And normally it comes blue, but you can find a clear version. It is noxious stuff, so you want to work in a very well-ventilated area. That stuff will make you dizzy in a heartbeat, and it's not good for your lungs. But if it's coated, then I use CA glue frequently with the addition of baking soda as the kicker. And in this, I use that because it creates almost a gusset, and it creates more surface area that the CA glue can grab. And Sentra is so lightweight that it doesn't end up applying a lot of torsional load to the glue joints. Unlike acrylic, which will like snap them in a heartbeat, Sentra is the reed that bends, and it'll kind of allow a little more flexibility. Yeah. Ending on a practical question. Thank you, Robert Walker, the prop master, and everybody else, tested patrons and our subscribers, for your wonderful questions. Yeah, enjoy the heat wave if you're in Northern California. I heard in New York it was 95 the other day. I am sorry about that, New York. Everybody stay safe, take good care of each other, and as always, I will see you next time. This is Adam out. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.